Hare Krishna devotees, once again welcome to this Sunday Feast program. Next part of our program is Sunday Feast lecture. Today we are very fortunate to have His Holiness Radha Krishna Prabhu. Is an initiating spiritual master, monk, mentor and spiritual teacher, primarily based in Houston. He travels all over the world, Australia, China, Hong Kong, Singapore and America, giving talks on spiritual subjects from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. He is also an authority for Vedic studies in Texas area. We are truly blessed to have Prabhu's association today. With that, let us welcome Radha Krishna Prabhu by loudly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. One time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda भक्तवृंदा।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे
कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा
जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा।
प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद।
Gaura Brahmanandi. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivracharya Suttara Shishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhu. Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Prem Sikho Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda, Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Mathura Dham ki, Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki, Shri Jagannath Puri Shri Kshetra Dham ki, Ganga Mai ki, Yamuna Mai ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Tulasi Maharani ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan ki, Transcendental Brihadvadaga Book Distribution ki, Transcendental Prasadam Distribution ki, Nitai Gaura Brahmanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhattali Srimati Tamal Krishna Kaswanti Namri. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhattali Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namri. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Sunday feast, right? Sunday feast noon festival, right? Yeah, and all of you should be very proud of yourselves because you could be at home, right? Watching TV, but you came here, which means you're all special, and definitely Krishna is very happy with all of you all. And and the reason is you have given up your sense enjoyment to come to partake in this gathering to listen to and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees. So therefore, when you do such activities, it becomes very favorable in your execution of devotional service. So it's important to understand what pleases Krishna and what doesn't please Krishna. And accordingly one should act. Otherwise, no point even doing this activity. You can stay at home. Taking that effort to come to the temple may be a bit austere for some of you, but still doing that is considered more favorable and advantageous. And that's how you get blessings. You cannot get blessings simply staying at home and doing your own thing. It's not possible. All right, so today I was thinking, since yesterday, last night we discussed a little bit about the jivas and the Supreme Lord. So, and I mentioned briefly the verse, this is in chapter 7, text 5. And you can all look at it and then if you want you can chant with me. Right? Okay. I have to ask the boss man. Yeah. All right. So let's. I'll chant and you can repeat after me. Aparayam itastu anyam.
Apareyam nitasvanyam.
Aparayam itastu anyam.
Apareyam nitastuvanyam.
Prakritim viddhi me param.
Prakritim viddhi me param.
Prakritim viddhi me param.
Prakritim viddhi me param.
Jiva bhutam mahabaho.
Jiva bhutam mahabaho.
Jiva bhutam mahabaho.
Jiva bhutam mahabaho.
Yayedam daryate jagat.
Yayedam daryate jagat.
Yayedam daryate jagat.
Yayedam daryate jagat.
Aparayam itastu anyam. Prakritim viddhi me param.
Prakritim viddhi me param.
Jiva bhutam mahabaho.
Jiva bhutam mahabaho.
Yayedam daryate jagat.
Yayedam daryate jagat.
Translation, you can read together with me, if you can. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Okay. When you're supposed to read with me, means you read with me, not you go ahead of me. That's how we follow, right? Otherwise you will want to do your own thing. Purport, nice purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here it is clearly mentioned that living entities belong to the superior nature or energy of the Supreme Lord. Inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Both forms of material nature, namely gross, earth, etc., and subtle mind, etc., are products of the inferior energy. Okay, I'm going to question you all later. Spot quiz. Right? What is the gross element and what is the subtle element? The living entities who are exploiting these inferior energies for different purposes are the superior energy of the Supreme Lord, and it is due to this energy that the entire material world functions. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy, the living entity. Energies are always controlled by the energetic, and therefore the living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence. They are never equally powerful as unintelligent men think. The distinction between the living entities and the Lord is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:87-30 as follows. Aparimithadruvas tanubrito yadi sarvagathas tarhi na sasyateti niyamo dhruva nitarata ajani cha yanmayam tat avimuchya niyantre bhavet samam manujanatam yad amatam matadustataya. O Supreme Eternal, if the embodied living entities were eternal and all-pervading like you, then they would not be under your control. But if the living entities are accepted as minute energies of your Lordship, then they are at once subject to your supreme control. Therefore, real liberation entails surrender by the living entities to your control, and that surrender will make them happy. In that constitutional position only can they be controllers. Therefore, men with limited knowledge who advocate the monistic theory that God and the living entities are equal in all respects are actually guided by a faulty and polluted opinion. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the only controller, and all living entities are controlled by Him. These living entities are his superior energy because the quality of their existence is one and the same with the Supreme, but they are never equal to the Lord in quantity of power. While exploiting the gross and subtle inferior energy, matter, the superior energy, the living entity, forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence. This forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity. But when the living entity becomes free from the influence of the illusory material energy, he attains the stage called mukti or liberation. The false ego, under the influence of material illusion, thinks I am matter and material accusations are mine. His actual position is realized when he is liberated from all material ideas, including the conception of his becoming one in all respects with God. Therefore, one may conclude that the Gita confirms the living entity to be only one of the multi-energies of Krishna. And when this energy is freed from material contamination, it becomes fully Krishna conscious or liberated. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Sanvalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karotum Bachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yatkipatam Vande Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gadodiya Pushpamanto Chitrasando Tamorudo. Yeah, so it's a very nice purport. Once again, Aparayam mitastu anyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam daryate jagad. So, translation, besides this inferior nature, O mighty arm, there is a superior energy of mind which are all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe. This previous verse is Bhumi Apo Anulavayur Kammana Buddhi Evacha. So, Krishna is explaining the components of this material nature. There's various ways of looking at it, but he's telling Arjuna the difference. And here he's comparing with that material elements, and he's comparing with the living entities. So then he's saying one of them is superior to the other. But he makes it very clear. He says, Prakritim Vidhi me param. He says this is also Prakriti, but it is superior. So remember yesterday I was saying there is the Para Prakriti and this is the Apara Prakriti. Material energy is Pa, which one? Apara Prakriti. This is, so we are Para Prakriti. Apara. Living entities are? Yeah, you are? You all don't know. Apara, you sure? Para Prakriti or Apara Prakriti? Yes, Apara. Yeah. Everybody is giving their own understanding. But now you should know, and don't get confused about this. So he's explaining about the material world, and there's another type of Prakriti also. Material world is also known as Prakriti, and the living entities are also known as Prakriti also. But they are known as Param here, a supreme nature. Who's that? This Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho. He's telling Arjuna. Mahabaho means mighty armed Arjuna. Even though Krishna is speaking philosophy, he's also telling Arjuna, you are a powerful warrior, you can fight. Because Arjuna was unwilling to fight, so he's indicating to him, you are really strong. So, but this Prakriti here, living entities, they are param. That means they are superior. Param means superior. Now there are a class of philosophers, they think they are Purusha. Remember yesterday we were discussing about enjoying Purusha. There's only really one Purusha. That means one true enjoyer, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, everyone else is meant to be enjoyed. When we are talking about enjoyer, then all the others must be enjoyed. Yeah. So therefore, Prakriti means to be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. Yeah. He is the only enjoyer or Purusha. Okay, so understand that. Yeah. But as I mentioned, there's a class of philosophers. They think themselves as Purushas. So therefore, they come across this, or they give, or they say, or speak the philosophy that everyone is enjoyous. We can all enjoy. But actually, that is not the case. Huh? And then there are another class. These are the impersonalists. They think everyone is equal. We are all God, and so we can enjoy. But then you all can see yourself, you are not enjoying in reality. Mostly we suffer. You may argue and say, no, I'm enjoying also. But in reality, if you look, what is the happiness for you? It is actually the interruption of your unhappiness. Then you feel happy, right? Otherwise you're not joyful all the time. But the nature, spiritual nature is joyful. But when you are covered or embodied in this material body, you tend to suffer. By nature, the material body gives you suffering. It is by design. Okay, it's meant to give you suffering so that you understand you don't belong in this existence. There's another superior existence, right? Okay, so that's how you should understand. Now, there are those people who work very hard. They are known as karmis, and they also consider themselves to be enjoyers. But they really don't understand. But you can see in this particular verse, Krishna does not say that the living entity is Purusha, right? In this particular verse, he doesn't say Purusha, he says, what does he say? No, he says, Prakritim Vidhi Me Param. Prakritim means to be enjoyed. He never said Purusham Vidhi Me Param. No, he didn't say that. He said Prakritim Vidhi Me Param. So it's important to understand exactly what Krishna is saying. So Prakriti is always subordinate to Purusha. Okay. I already discussed this. There's only Purusha and Prakriti. So who's subordinate? Prakriti is always subordinate. That is the natural way. That's how it is set up. Huh? Okay. And therefore Krishna is known as Purushottama. Okay. He's the supreme enjoyer. So another name for him is Purushottama. And if you read ahead in the 10th chapter, Krishna is known as Purusham Shashvatam. Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam. Then Purusham Shashvatam. Yes, yeah. So it's very important to know in context. And one of the things that we should know, Krishna is always Purusha. It's always. It's not that one time suddenly he became Purusha. No, he's eternally enjoying. We are eternally to be enjoyed by the Lord. Meaning, when we serve the Lord, we have happiness, we enjoy the service, and he enjoys that reciprocation. But he's eternally enjoyer, yeah. And sometimes people argue that before he was Purusha, he was impersonal. But here it doesn't say that. You can see very clearly. Purusham Shashvatam. Right? He's always, eternally he is Purusha. He's always enjoyer. He's never enjoyed. Very important. He's never enjoyed. He's always enjoying everything. So he's never, we can't enjoy him. Rather we serve him, and in the service you'll find real joy. Yeah. Most things you do in our day-to-day activities, the joy, you will get some semblance of happiness, but they are very much limited. A little bit happiness and that's it. It's not sustaining. It cannot sustain. And therefore we have to understand things in this material realm, in this material world, you cannot prolong the happiness. You can try, you can try, but you can understand eventually you cannot enjoy. Your body also, right? You're young now and you're jumping, and then after 50 years later you can't jump 6 inches, and then you can't walk, you have to sit down. And so you can see, we cannot enjoy the body eternally, but Krishna can. He is Satchidananda Vigraha. His body is Satchidananda. He is eternal, full of bliss and full of knowledge. Yeah. Right, so he's never to be enjoyed. We cannot enjoy Krishna or God. That is sense gratification. To think I can enjoy God. No, that is sense gratification. The whole understanding in our philosophy is that we are meant to serve, exactly, yes. You're always meant to serve. That way you get the blessings. That's what whole bhakti process is. But the bhakti yoga process is to learn how to serve, and in serving you will learn how to love. Yeah, you will enjoy in the process of serving him, yeah. Right. So as devotees we never claim to be Purushas. We are not trying to enjoy anything. We are always subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's making it very clear. Krishna is saying here very clearly, Jiva Bhuta Maha Baho. Prakritim Vidyame Param. Yeah. Everything is moving in this world. Therefore he also says, Yayedam Daryate Jagat. This material world. Jagat, what is that? Gacchati iti Jagat. That means everything is moving in this material world. Right? Even the sun is moving. We can't see it, right? But scientists have said that the entire universe, material universe, is moving. In 1 hour the sun moves at 830,000 kilometers, or 520,000 miles an hour. We can't see that, but this entire universe is moving. Everything is moving here. But everything is under the control of Krishna. So he says, Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sa charachara. Under my supervision, this material energy is moving and doing things. So it's important why we have to know this, that we understand our position very clearly. Exactly. You can't even control that, no? Yeah. So we can understand also, so many things are going and we think we are in charge and controlling. No, we can't control anything. Can't control the fact that you don't want to grow old, right? But you are forced to grow old. You can't control that. So, yeah. We are always subordinate. That's very important. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, right? Mama janmani janmaneshware bhavatat bhakti aituki tvayi. Yeah. That we always want to be, life after life, janma janmaneshware bhavatat bhakti ahituki. That means I always want to serve you in devotional service. Ahituki, unmotivated. Very important, no? When we study nicely, then we appreciate, okay, my position is this. If you don't read about this, then we think we are better than God Himself sometimes. Oh, God doesn't understand my situation. If he doesn't understand your situation, how can He be God? No? But we make foolish statements like that. So Bhakti Yoga is to, life after life, I still want to continue to serve the Lord. Yeah? So we can see material energy is always inferior, spiritual energy is always superior. So this is the idea behind this verse. Although we are also considered Prakriti, our nature is spiritual. There's many energies Krishna has. He has so many different kinds of energies, and we are also one kind of energy. But all the energies Krishna has are always serving Krishna for His pleasure. So even the material energy is serving Krishna in its own way. Right? That's the amazing thing. We may not understand that, but the more we are exposed to all this philosophy, we then appreciate, oh wow, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is how I can make the connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's very important. Yeah. In terms of how, for example, sometimes people ask, right, we are here, why are we stuck here? Well, originally, in the matter of creation, actually there's no beginning or end. It's very difficult to define. But for the sake of discussion, we can say, originally Krishna wanted to have a lot of association. He can enjoy, but then he wants to enjoy with different entities who are unique, right? So then he wanted to experience different relationship with all living entities, and therefore he expands himself into different jivas. So we are all jivas. Jivas doesn't just mean human beings, it also means plants, animals, insects, fungus, whatever, anything that's living. They are all living entities. Within the tree, within the body of the animals, human beings, insects, birds, reptiles, etc., there is the spark of life, the jiva, the prakriti, the atma, he is there. Okay? And so anyway, the Lord wanted to have exchanges, loving exchanges in the spiritual realm, but all of us, including all the living entities in this universe, have decided that we want to enjoy separately. So when we made such a choice, the Lord, out of His compassion and kindness, said, well, that's an incompatible situation because there's only one Purusha. So therefore He transferred us into this material world where we learn that we are not the enjoyers. So Prabhupada says this place is called, yeah, another name for this place, material energy, Durga. You've heard the word Durga, right? Yeah. So what does Durga mean? Which you can also pass. Okay, Prabhupada gives a better meaning. He says Durga means she is the superintendent of this fort, the fortress. In one sense, this material world or universe is considered to be a prison house or a place where one comes to reform. Okay? The reformation is to understand I'm not the enjoyer, I'm actually the servant. Yeah. So therefore, Durga, she is the superintendent. She is very powerful. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mamamaya Duratyaya. Very difficult to overcome. Duratyaya. But then he says, Maya Mitam Tarantite. Yeah. But if you surrender, then he says you can overcome Maya, this material energy. Yeah, Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, Sadhana, Shakti, Ekachai Eva. So, very powerful. Still, Maya is not working independently. Remember I mentioned Maya Dikshayana Prakriti. So, under the supervision of who? The Supreme Lord. Okay. Yeah. So, to bring us from the spiritual realm to the material realm, the Lord actually expands Himself. Right? So, He expands through various avatars, and then finally He creates this region of material universe, everything here. It's initially in this material realm, everything is darkness. It's sealed from the spiritual world, so it's dark. And He has created like that. So that's a fortress. You cannot escape easily. Otherwise you'll create havoc in the spiritual world. And so, and the material elements that you see, in the original position, it's called pradhan. That means inert. Pradhan is inert. You can say, in all circumstances, material things have no life actually, so it's pradhan. And it's not functioning, or it is not able to become something. That's how inert it is. And then, because the living entity want to enjoy like the Lord then transfers them through His glancing potency, and He impregnates us within this material universe. And as soon as they come in contact with Pradhan, Pradhan transforms into Mahatattva. So everything agitates. The material energy then gets excited. Whippy, I have friends now. So because of our desires, the material energy has the life to function. So then the living entity who wants to enjoy is given the false ego. Because he's misidentifying himself to be Purusha. So then he comes here to enjoy. And so he's thinking, I am this, I am that, I want to enjoy this way, that way. And so the Pradhan becomes Mahatattva, and within the Mahatattva, with the combination of the false ego, the false desire to enjoy separately, all the different elements take form. Mind, intelligence, ego, earth, water, fire, air and ether, all of them starts forming. And then you have the Lord then going, creating different separate universes, and then within each universes He comes in as Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and then the first living entity is Lord Brahma, and then within each universe there's a certain number of living entities, they're going to take birth in different forms. So Brahma then gives them the different types of body. He's the secondary creator, but he doesn't create the living entities or even the elements. They are all given to him. Okay? So within this universe, we are then trying to enjoy, but as I mentioned earlier, usually we find that we cannot completely enjoy to the fullest extent. Even though, let's say your life is perfect, everything is almost perfect, one day you have to die. So you cannot enjoy forever. It's not possible. And sometimes people will say, oh, I have had a good life, yeah. But when at the time of death, how do you feel? I remember in the 8th chapter, Krishna says, your consciousness matters at the time of death. Yeah. Yeah. So, material energy is also working under the purview of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, from the beginning of this particular chapter, Krishna says to Arjuna, without any doubt, Arjuna, you can understand me completely. So, it is not that it's difficult, but we have to follow a system. Yeah. Right? Generally we ring the bell for what? Huh? Lunchtime, no. We ring the bell, when you walk in the temple, you ring the bell to actually announce to the Lord and say, I'm here. Yeah. Like when you knock on people's door, you have doorbells and so on, right? You bell out, hey, I'm here, So then the Lord looks and says, oh, nice. Right? So it's very personable, because He's a person, you're a person. So when you come to His abode, you announce, I'm here. And then there must be a relationship. So you come and you see Him and have that relationship. Most people just come and say, hey, hi, see you, bye, right? But ultimately we are supposed to have that relationship because that's more pleasant. If you think prasadam is so good, but just imagine how wonderful the person who gives you the prasadam is. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, so there's so many things that are going on in this thing. The Lord has so many, as I mentioned before, power. Parasya shakti vividaiva sruyate, right? Sruyate, yeah. Swabhaviki jana bala kriya. So all kinds of energy He has here. Yeah. Unlimited, variegated potencies. And we only know a little bit and then we think we can control everything. Right? But even another way of understanding that we are superior energy is if you look at for example, you look at the mountains, right? You look at the forests and so on, and then as men, when they want to build a pass through the mountain, they can make a hole, no? But the material energy is sitting there, but the living entity can, even though he is tiny, he makes a big hole and then he has a tunnel and then he has highways all through. So he is superior. He can control to some extent, not fully, but he can control. But when the tornadoes or when hurricane comes, he is meek and humble then. Yeah. Yeah. But otherwise he tries to control. So he is, by nature he wants to control. Why is that? Yes. Yeah, but why does he have that ability to want to control? No, he can't. Who someone said? So yeah, he is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Huh? Remember I said, Mame Angsa Jiva Loke. He's Angsa means portion of the Lord. So we are all portions of the Lord. So we have the same desire also. But we don't understand that we are very tiny, so we can't be God. Yeah. But we want to control also. So therefore you can see so many things man or mankind try to control. But then he doesn't know how to control properly, and so he creates chaos, problems all over the world. Oh, climate problem, sea problem, this problem, But all these problems can be easily solved if he takes to the worship of the Supreme Person. Yeah? If everyone is worshipping properly, then you will find they get better in their relationship. And then the understanding is that I should not be exploiting unnecessarily. At the moment, the whole concept in the society is exploitation and making money. Right? I was speaking to Satyasai, he was saying how, Steve Jobs was saying how that he has so much money, he can pay money to get someone to cook for him, drive him, take him everywhere, but he couldn't pay someone to take away his disease. So what is the value of having so much money? What's the value of being I'm the big billionaire. You can have everything. Or Prabhupada used to say also, you can be the most wealthiest guy, but if you can only eat one cupcake because you have diabetes, what's the value? Right? You can claim, I'm the most wealthiest person in the world, but I can only eat one cupcake, right? And you can say, I can eat more than you, right? Yeah, so all this really is just temporary situation. According to your previous life's karma, abilities and so on, desires and so on, each and every one of you have taken a particular birth within this material world to fulfill those material desires. And this will continue and continue. This cycle will go on until you realize that I want to stop this cycle. And when you realize that you want to stop this cycle, then you take the process, bhakti process. This is what we are trying to say. It's very important to understand this. Right? Everything is so wonderfully set up in this world, no? So nice. Everything is perfect. Yeah. He says very clearly in the Sri Ishopanishad, no? The Lord says, everything is perfect. Perfectly. It's not imperfect. Nothing is imperfect. The situation in this world is created for us to perfectly use it to get out of it. All the facilities to get out of this material realm is here. So therefore this creation is perfect. And the Lord knows what we need, you know. But we misuse it and then we complain. Right? We complain. When we don't get our way, then we complain, oh, Lord doesn't know, you know. But when we get it our way, then we never thank the Lord. If there's anything to find faults, blame it on the Lord. Yeah. In any case, everything is coming from the Lord. No? All this spiritual energy and the material energy, everything is coming from the Lord. So life does not come from matter. As I've explained to you how this, without this spark of Atma, Jiva, Shakti, nothing is alive. Even for this metal to exist, the Paramatma, the Super Soul must be inside it. If it's not in there, then you cannot combine even the metals to create different kinds of equipments and so on. That's far out. Right? If you see, what is the quality of earth in the soil? What is the main quality in the soil that you can... No, not that, not... Fragrance. Right? You go outside, you dig, you can smell earth. You know. Sometimes when it rains, you can smell it, so nice, right? It's refreshing. That is also coming from Krishna. Yeah? Oh, she's got a bad cold, no? Yeah. And then the quality that is more subtle than earth is what? The element that is more subtle than earth is water. Okay, water is more subtle. What's in water that is unique? Taste. Yeah, without water you can't taste. If your mouth is dry, you try to eat, you can't taste, you probably choke. You can't taste, you know. Right? And then it's more subtle than water? Air. So what is the quality in air? Touch. You blow, you can feel it. So it can give you the touch sensation. Right? And more subtle than air is fire. Heat and sight. You know, without light you can't see. So our eyes have that quality of fire in it. That's why we can see. Now before we see, even before you see, the Super Soul sees first. If he doesn't see, you can't see. Then he's giving you the ability to see. All abilities are coming from the Lord, not from us. Okay, more subtle than fire? Ether. Yeah. Actually, and ether, you all switched it. It's fire and ether. So what is in ether? The sound. You can hear sound. So sound travels through ether. Of course, the scientist says ether is compared to space in our philosophy. Scientists say there is no sound in space. But actually the sound is there. They say if you take the conch shells, right, or any of those shells, you put it in your ear, you can hear the ether, the sound in ether. It's interesting. So all these are all Krishna's energy. These are all energy. Wonderfully, He has transformed His energy so that we, for our sake, He has transformed the energy so that we can learn our relationship with Him. Who He is and who am I and what I am supposed to do. How can I do this so that I can eventually connect and go back to Godhead, the spiritual realm. So nice if you study, you can see. Why does He do that? Why is Krishna wanting us to come back? He doesn't want the living entity to suffer. What else? Yes? He doesn't want us to be? Suffer in this world, yes? Okay, well I'll change a little bit. Suffer in this world forever. Someone else said something? We are part and parcel, yeah? He wants to enjoy with us, okay? Happiness, yeah?
Want to make us know the true identity and know Him. And until we know Him completely, then we can. So, life after life will be progress.
Yeah, I know, yeah, okay. A simple reason, because He loves us. He truly loves us, right? So He's coming in so many ways to try to coax us to come back. He can't force us because we have free will. We are part and parcel of the Lord, so we have free will. But our free will, we don't know how to use our free will. That's the problem. We misuse our free will and we suffer in this world. And because He loves us, He's always trying to coax us, please come back, I'm waiting for you. Why don't you come? Why do you not come back to me, Yeah, so therefore Krishna explains that those who become intelligent and who actually pursue in this journey of trying to understand, he says that not many people like that. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanamam mam prapadanti vasudevam sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Sudurlabha means very, very rare, also very difficult for this. Bahunam janmanam. For many lifetimes, these personalities, they take birth, but every time they take birth, they are coming closer and closer to Krishna. They understand, they are curious, they want to know who they are, what is their relationship. And so they attempt to seek that truth out. So, Bahunam janmanam ante. At the end, ante, they will come to that conclusion, he says. So therefore, such personalities are very rare. Just like, what's the population in Austin? A lot? 2 million? Yeah. So then how many here? So that desire to seek, there are many types of seekers. In terms of even religion, there are many seekers, but to come to completely understand that the Lord loves them and they should really go back, very few. Very few people want to actually go back. Most people, they try to fix their difficult situation. Just like, you see movie stars, they go and do patchwork on their faces and so on, right? Botox or whatever they do. Because they think they can keep fixing themselves and enjoy life. But it doesn't work actually. And if the doctor injects in the wrong place, it's boom, that's it, can't fix after that. No more patchwork. And then they become hermits. But not saintly hermits, but just hermits. Yeah. Hide away from everything. Yeah. Sad. It's a sad truth, but that's how life is for most people. And again, the more we appreciate Krishna's position and our relationship, the more intelligent we become. Because we are making right choices. And then we are cultivating proper and good habits. Because that's going to help me or all of us go back. So that's the whole idea behind practicing bhakti. Remember yesterday I say he is apapa viddham. That means he is so pure. At every act you do to come closer to Krishna, because he is so pure, you will get purified. Meaning your desires will become more wholesome, more realistic. It's not temporary kind of things. Your desires will also grow, you become more broad-minded in your way of looking at life itself, in terms of sharing with others. Not in in a negative sense, not that, oh, I'm going to go back to God and you're going to hell, It's not, that's not that's not. We want to share and say, look, an opportunity is here, this is how we approach, we are all, the whole practice of bhakti is to learn how to love God. That's the goal, right? Just to love God. And so the closer you get to Him, the more and more you become complete. Without God, we are incomplete. We are zero. Prabhupada says we are all zero. Krishna is one. So if you put the one in front of the zero, it has value. Otherwise, there's no value. Yeah. So we have to learn how to be controlled by God and not try to control God. Right? You try to control God, try to control the rain or the sun out there first. People can't. Yeah. Bhakti means we voluntarily agree to be controlled by the Lord. Yeah, voluntarily. The Lord wants us to do this, then we will do. So towards the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna he says, Atachasi tata kuru. He says, my Lord, I now accept you. Whatever you like, you can do. So that's how we have to come to also. Just like Arjuna understood that that is the only real independence, to surrender to God. Yeah. We have independence, we came here, so with independence we should go back. Krishna will never force you, the Lord does not force His creation, He doesn't force anyone to love Him. We have to learn to love Him. It's not that we have to learn, we have the propensity to love is in all of us, right? Right? Everyone here wants to be loved. No one can here say, no, I don't want to be loved. Everyone wants that. So why is that? Again, it's because we are part and parcel of the Lord. So you can see, I have that nature. So the best person to love is Lord, Krishna. Yeah? Try to love anyone, they will let you down. Eventually they'll let you down. Very few people have true love. Actually, true love means to love God, because it's eternal relationship. Yeah. So it's now 12:51. I'm thinking, how long does class go? Yeah, it should end. All right, so our position is that we are servants. We need to understand the principles properly. And when we appreciate the principles, then our process becomes meaningful. You shouldn't do this blindly, you should ask questions and then you should be convinced why you're doing it and the results of that and how it's going to benefit you and benefit others. Right? If it benefits you, then definitely it's going to benefit people who are with you. Yeah. Okay? So we'll stop here. If there's any comments, questions, reflections, or anything else you want to add, yeah, feel free to do so. We can all appreciate. Yeah?
I want to add one comment.
Yes, Prabhu.
You said like we're all trapped in this fort. So to escape, how we cannot escape? He created lust. So that
okay.
that's how we are bound together to this material world. And if we can overcome that lust, then we can overcome this fort. Means we can escape from this fort.
Srila Prabhupada mentions that lust is actually the perversive nature of true love. So if you practice bhakti yoga, you're then developing the right love. Lust means to be selfishly enjoying, lust means to have sense enjoyment. So that's lustful. But if you understand yourself who you are, then you'll do bhakti yoga and then you'll develop the real love. And that's when the lust transforms from lust to, what is that verse? Rajaguna samudbhavaha, kamesha krodesha. Yeah. So from the spiritual realm, the love for the Lord, when you deny yourself to love God, that love transforms with the combination of the mode of passion, it becomes lustful, which meaning it becomes selfish. True love is selfless. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. You need to turn it on. You need the material energy.
Hare Krishna Guruji. So I don't know whether it is comment, question, I don't know, but so yesterday and today also you mentioned love and how to love Bhagavan. And yesterday, like, we have to see every entity as the jiva and like, for example, family, children, as the jivas, and we had to approach them as serving Bhagavan. We had to approach them as like everyone as the Bhagavan and assume that we are serving. So, like before coming to Krishna consciousness, the thinking is different. Like, I will take my example. I'm thinking like, okay, we are serving humanity and like serve everyone and everything. So, and I'm traveling from many years, like I have like friends, family and everyone. So how to convince them to, convince means, this is the question, this is the trouble I'm facing right now. So how to convince that this is the right approach, because everyone have different viewpoints at this point of time in my life and career. So how to approach them? Forget about convincing, how to approach my, I don't want to impose, but how to approach.
I think it's your behavior is very important. How you behave first, how you act. The transformation that you display is very important. If you feel it has true meaning in your life and you have therefore applied those principles, you must transform, right? And if your transformation is real and genuine, then people who are with you, they can see you have changed. And if that change is so wonderful, they will say, how is that you are like this? And then they will query you or question you or want to know how they themselves may want to be like you. So if they are favorable, that's what they will ask you. But if they are unfavorable or envious of you having that transformation, then they'll find fault, right? In all cases, for us, it's the idea is first you transform, and it's like, how do you know something tastes good? Unless you taste it, physically taste it. So in the same way, you practice and then you know this works, right? And then you apply it, and then you can share because you have realizations. And then you can connect with people in the way they would prefer you to connect with them. You cannot open a person's mouth and try to shove the philosophy or the brain you open. It doesn't work in that fashion, Most often, people like to see good examples because, you look at all the politicians, leaders in society, they always cheat everyone who follows them. So if you can set a standard where people can look up to you and say, look, you are really a well-wisher, then you can influence others, right? That's one way. The other way is to give prasadam, the quick way. How do you? Selflessly. It starts being selfish first, meaning you want to be loving Krishna, right? So you start chanting nicely. Do you chant? How many rounds? Why do you look at your mom? You are chanting, no? Yeah? Okay, yeah. So next time you count. When you count means you are caring about your rounds. And when you are caring, then Krishna likes that. So then he becomes very happy and pleased. So then that's how you make the connection with Krishna. So next time you chant, you are chanting for who? Yeah, you say, Krishna, I want to chant for you. I want to make that connection with you. So it starts at that stage. So you're selfishly trying to chant for Krishna. And later on you become, as you increase your desires, your affection, you do it spontaneously. That is selflessly. You selflessly say, and you encourage others. Hey, this is so nice. Why don't you join? Yeah. And if they say no, that's okay. And you are happy chanting. If they say yes, you become more happy. Right? Yeah. Or you can go out with your mother and give the books, Krishna books to people. Now that way you go quickly, you become selfless. Yeah, because you want to help others. Yeah. Good question. Yeah, thank you. It's almost one. It's either the prasadam or more questions. Or arti. Anyone else? We can end otherwise, right? All right, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Thai Gaura Premanandi.
Jai. Radha Krishna Prabhu ki jai. Thank you, Prabhu. That's a wonderful class. Thank you for establishing the position of Jiva and position of Paramatma or Supreme Lord. Thank you for educating us in detail. With that, we will move on to the next part of program, and we want to hear more from you. Devotees, please rise. We'll have Aarti now. Radha Vinod Prabhu is going to sing Aarti Kirtan, and Nirmala Mataji doing Pujari service. Mastaji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, good, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Come. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's good. Jai. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadin Paschatya Deshatarine Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jayo Radha Nila Madhura, Nila Madhura, Jayo Jayo Radha Shyama Sundar, Radha Shyama Sundar, Radhe, Jayo Gauranitay, Jayo Gauranitay, Jayo Gauranitay, Jayo Gauranitay, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमारी डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमारी डिवाइन शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की इसका बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य शिल प्रभुपाद की नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री मथुरा धाम की श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की श्री जगन्नाथपुरी श्री क्षेत्र धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की समवेत भक्त वृंद की युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की ट्रांसजेंडर ब्रह्मत बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की ट्रांसजेंडर प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की दाय गौर प्रेमानंदी All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasingaya, Namaste Narasingaya, Pralada Lada Daine, Pralada Lada Daine, Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatanka nakhalaye, Shilatanka nakhalaye, Ito Narasingha Parato Narasingha, Ito Narasingha Parato Narasingha, Yeto Yeto Yamitato Narasingha, Yeto Yeto Yamitato Narasingha, Bahe Narasingha Hridaye Narasingha, Bahe Narasingha Hridaye Narasingha, Narasingha Madim Sharanam Prapade, Narasingha Madim Sharanam Prapade, Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shrungam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Brunga Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Avakara Kamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Lalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Brungam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupam जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद
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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव
गुरुदेव
गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव श्री भक्ति विघ्न विनाश श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय जय
Thank you, Radha Vinod Prabhu. That's a wonderful